Okay, we're in the finals. We have the choice. We'll play first. Um, this hand's fine, actually. We don't have a blue mana, but I like our turn progression. Emissary into Custodian is nice. Really nice early defense against, say, for example, a black-red dash deck, which we haven't seen yet, so... Oh, maybe this is where our Erishan Foremost went. That would make sense. All right, good draw. So we'll slam an Emissary and pass. This is a really good spot for Custodian, in my opinion, um, since it enters tapped and everything. But it is such a hyper-efficient, especially artifact body. 2/5 for 3 is just really nice. And Enhanced Awareness, I'm really happy I main decked that now. It looks good. This is a really good looking spot for Enhanced Awareness. You know what? I'll trade a Butcher's Glee for a Sultai or for a Morph card. Just gaining life and getting his first creature off the board seems worth it. Yeah, and Sandstorm Charger, although I guess admittedly not that good against Custodian of the Trove. Um, it just feels like a decent trade for me. All right. So we're going to slam the Sure Shot here. It's just mostly getting a high power guy on there. He probably Douse and Glooms it is my assumption. Or Foul Renewal. Okay. Well, we know what his morph is now. Um, and it can't get past our Custodian, so we're not in a really bad spot here by any means. And we have Enhanced Awareness, which is potentially very good. So I'm at 6 mana. I think we're just going to... I mean, I could technically draw into, say, Shambling Goblin and play it, but that's okay. I don't need a Shambling Goblin on this board. Enhanced Awareness there is just absolutely incredible. Yeah, I mean, granted, we didn't draw anything good from it, but if I didn't have Enhanced Awareness, we would have just had bad draws regardless. I mean, getting a bit flooded, which is okay. I mean, you got to expect that to happen every once in a while. But we have plenty of really powerhouse draws we can get now. We haven't basically seen any of our finishers yet, so... All right, it's not a warrior, is it? So this person did get the Erishan Foremost we passed. All right, pretty big bummer, but I can't do anything about it since I haven't drawn any spells. Okay, reducing stature is pretty bad here. Pretty terrible. Doesn't really do much of anything, but basically turns this into a 2/4 double strike, which is still horrific. Basically turns this into a 2/4, which is still horrific. So I guess we turned this one into the 2/4. It's a little bit less horrific. I think we could do really well if we drew one of our finishers. I think a finisher here will go a really long way. So I think we're just going to chump here. Ideally, flip one of our powerful guys. Well, I certainly didn't want to draw a lamb, so I guess that's okay. Okay, I mean, you can't avoid the flood. There's really nothing you can do when you flood out. You have to just accept it. I mean, it's a big bummer, but what can you do? So, yeah, pretty unfortunate. So we're gonna have to block the double striker that deals the most damage, and then we'll chump block the 5. I really wish this game wasn't panning out like this, but I really have no control over my draws. So Vulture Saving, really not what I wanted to exploit, to be honest, since I can't exploit with it now. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I'm trying to think how I get out of this spot. I'm in a pretty horrific position at the moment. My opponent's just got a grip full of cards too, so I don't feel confident in any way of getting back into this one, unfortunately. But I think we'll flip for now, and we got to come up with something. I don't know. I guess I can double block this. I'm trying to think what that does. What does double blocking a Dramoka Warrior do? So he double strikes down a Vulturous Aven, and then I trade a Palace Familiar. I take 9 damage. I draw a card. I get a double striker off the board. It might be my best one. And of course, this presumes he has absolutely nothing, which is the most unrealistic thing you could possibly imagine. But otherwise, I'm just chump blocking. So at least getting something off the board, I feel like I'm doing something. But as expected, uh, my opponent's got actual cards to my not actual cards. So just didn't draw very well this game, unfortunately. The enhanced awareness I was hoping would do its job, but not so much. We're dead even with the Ojutai's Breath in hand, so just a really lackluster performance on our deck's part this time around, but that does happen. The funny thing is, even if I tap down the guy that grants the double strike, I still am dying to lethal damage here. So that was horrific. We got absolutely our teeth stomped in there. But I can't do anything about flooding out. That's just outside of my control. So playing against a black-white, presumably Warriors deck to a little bit. I actually think we have... I think the saddest part is I actually think we have an amazing matchup here. Based mostly on the fact that his creatures don't do anything unless he has combat tricks, like the Artful Maneuver and stuff. So I think we are bringing in a gate, mostly I guess for Scale Blessing and Artful Maneuver. And we probably cut... I don't know. Oh yeah, and he's got Dramoka Warrior, so I was gonna say we have actually just an amazing 1 and 2 drop creature suite for that. You know, we have all the block value for X1s that you could possibly imagine. But like I said, we actually the funny thing is we started out so amazing. The hand looked so great, and then it really did take that many turns of land draws to turn it into that dire of a situation so fast. So definitely a big bummer there. I think I'm cutting an Anticipate. That's tough. I just feel like I'd rather have the negate, and I don't really want to cut any of my creatures. Could cut a Reduce in stature. It looked pretty awful there. Yeah, in fact, I'll cut that for the negate. All right, let's try this. All right, we'll play first. Yeah, this hand's actually fine. I mean, we have both lands. We've got a 1-drop that blocks X1s all day. And he can't even really like kill it for super good value. Palace Familiar is a good draw. So, hoping for land draws so we can get to this Vulturous Haven. I'd accept and Anticipate too. That would be nice. All right, missed the land draw, but it's not the end of the world yet. All right, if I draw a land, I can at least reduce in stature it. Okay. Hmm. So I could reduce in stature it down to an O2. Otherwise, I can keep Butcher's Glee back as like... I don't think I like that. Let's reduce it. Let's get in with our Pals Familiar. Should have actually maybe swung first, because then I could have played the Butcher's Glee. Might have actually made more sense. I mean, he still gets to use the activated ability of the Bludgeon Fanatic, but oh geez. It's pretty insane. So I can Vulturous Aven my Palace Familiar. I probably have to do that. Okay, that was pretty good cards to draw. Um, I think I chump block. I don't really want to take 4 when my opponent's got that Bludgeon Fanatic. Alright, Strong Arm Monk's pretty sick. Missing land drops again. Just kind of a bummer. So if I presume my opponent's got no combat tricks, which just seems absolutely unrealistic. Land draw there would have been really good, because then I could go Custodian plus Emissary. I'm trying to think what my best play is here. It would have also let me Butcher's Glee plus Negate, which would have been excellent. Can Ojutai's Breath lock down the Dagatar, just take 3? I think that might be my best play. Alright, so it's probably a Charger. So I guess we lock down... If it's a Charger, I'd rather him pay for it, so we'll lock down his Monk. Alright, land there was excellent. So now we've got some... I think we probably just drop the Archfiend here. Force him to deal with it. Otherwise, I have to do Custodian plus Emissary, which is less impressive. Let's just do Archfiend. If he can't deal with Archfiend immediately, he just loses quite a bit of dudes. It's kind of a huge, enormous bummer, but my opponent just happened to have the mana to immediately answer my bomb. So, big bummer. I wish I had Negate open, but it just didn't pan out that way. So, now I'm going to take 4 damage, which I'm also pretty unhappy about, but... Alright, or not. So, maybe it's a Marsh Hulk instead. We're in a pretty bad spot now. Pretty horrifically bad spot. So, I'm trying to think what my actual good plays here are. I think I drop Emissary. Like, I could leave up Butcher's Glee. If he has any play with Strong Arm Monk, it goes right out of range. So I don't like that. I can play Custodian, swing with Avon, chump block Dagatar. Just take a horrific amount of damage. I don't know what to do here. This is bad. I don't like this position at all in any way, shape, or form. And he's going to flip this most likely. I need to get Dagatar off the board or I'm just going to lose. I'm going to pass the turn. I have to basically hope my opponent has nothing, which seems highly unrealistic, but I don't know what else to do. And they're all warriors too. It's pretty funny. All right. Well, opponent's deck was really good, so I don't know what to say. Those are some pretty good rares to have. Oh, he's just gonna play a spell too and then just kill me. That's funny. All right. Well, opponent had like just the most beautiful setup I think I've ever seen. So that's sad, but what can you do? Opponent just had everything. So disappointed with the outcome, but I guess ultimately I could have negated that. He still gets the trigger, so it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You had another spell too. That's funny. All right. That's really funny. All right. Well, opponent just had everything, so pretty disappointed with the outcome, but I don't know what to say. Our opponent had a great deck and drew extremely well, so what can you do? Overall, made it to the finals. I'm satisfied about that, so the next draft will be another 8-4. Deck played pretty well for us. This is definitely the best performance from a blue-black deck that I've had. I wish we didn't flat out game one. I wish that we'd drawn some lands a little bit sooner, or I don't know. Actually, game two, our opponent just had the nut, and there was nothing I could do about it. So just in a bad position the whole game, and really could not find any means of getting back into it, unfortunately. I strongly dislike Reduce in Stature. I think just it's a bad card in general, but blue is just so limited in its removal. It's tough, man. You got to just play it sometimes. I don't like that card though at all. In this format, if you think about reducing stature in this format, so you play it on a guy that gets counters, it's pretty much worthless. You play it against a deck that's running any degree of exploit creatures, it's pretty much worthless. Where is reducing stature good? The one spot where it's good is like a green-red beatdown deck with no +1/+1 counters, that's got like heavy hitting creatures with no abilities. So like vanilla creatures that are like feral crew shocks and stuff like that. That's like the most mileage you're ever going to get out of reducing stature is in those matches. So that's ultimately why I think this deck failed in the finals, is just their complete and utter lack of removal, coupled with our opponent's amazing deck with Dagatar, Bloodchin Fanatic, Erishan Foremost, that one card that makes a bunch of X-Warriors. So our opponent just got like the most synergistic rare suite I've probably seen in Dragons of Tarkir to date. We never once got to cast Silumgar Sorcerer, which is kind of a big disappointment to me because I really do think you can get a lot of mileage out of that card. Archfiend did some work for us. Gravecrawler, I wish would have done a little bit more work for us, especially in the finals there. Basically, I think if we'd drawn better in game one, I would have been a little more satisfied with how the finals went. But the quantity of flood we got there was pretty disappointing, especially since I saw 3 additional cards with enhanced awareness. But sometimes it just happens, man, and you got to accept it. So glad we made it to the finals regardless, and I hope you enjoyed it anyway. We'll see you for the next draft.